And welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. This will be an update for the Enterprise D build. I just finished up work on Deck 33. I decided not to add in a lot of the ship systems in these areas as of yet, mainly because I just don't feel like doing it. I'm getting a little bored, a little burned out, kind of rough around the edges, so I decided to just go ahead and leave them for some other time. But I did go ahead and allocate all the space for them. This area is a two-story area. These are single-story rooms. I'm debating whether I should roof them or not at this point. I think I should, but I want to double-check to make sure that they're single-story. I think there are machinery for the hollow suites. So let's go see if they're one or two-story rooms. You can see up in here it hasn't been done yet because I pulled all the systems from these rooms. Yeah, they are single story, so I'll go ahead and set those up as single. Go ahead and set them up for ceilings so that I don't have to worry about it until later. Excuse me. My Taco Bell coming back up. Alrighty, so, and since I already mirrored it, I can easily mirror these over. But it is not a big deal. It is no big deal. What I will do is first I'll slow down and I will go fill 126 1050, and then I'll do the same thing over here. Fill 126 1050. The reason I do 50 is it's a habit, so that I know that I'm going to get the entire. It's 50. It's a 50 chunk radius from where you're standing. So if I were to say, come up here and I were to say, oh, we'll do a small one, fill 35.0, which is wool, 5. It would make a 5 chunk circumference. So that's what it's doing. And you got to be careful with this. If you're not within your boundaries, so if I could stood right here, it would fill this, but if there's like a crack out there and I do like fill 200, it will fill an entire 200 radius. And that could cause you to crash and have other issues. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And I'll go ahead and fill in this area here as well. I'm not going to pattern the roof. I can do that later. Most likely it's going to get changed anyways from when we start putting machinery in here. We're going to have stuff running along the ceiling and things. So yeah, and what I'll do, when I fill in those hollow suite systems, I'll just mirror out the sections for these sections here. It shouldn't be that difficult, but you never know with Minecraft. So we'll just go ahead and fill 126, whoops, 1050. And get rid of the thing I'm standing on. And there we go. Come over here and do the same thing. Blow me down there. Fill 126, 1050. Alright, now all I'm going to do now is I'm going to route some power over to it, which is pretty basic. I'm going to come off of this lead here, and come on, don't play games with Uncle Raymond there. And then grab one of these, set it right there, come on, no, right there. And I'm going to stick that one into the room, so I'll set this one into the room as well. And then we'll run to there, to there, grab that. Then I'll just do a little simple wee edit. Out to there, that should cover it. Fly over to the center here, do a flip paste, or a copy flip. Copy, flip, paste. That's what I'm looking for. And that should be done. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright. So all these areas are now powered. They've got all their routed stuff and things and whatnot. Okay. I think I ran into something. I did. I'll show you the deck here real quick. As you can see, the overlay, it's a pretty straightforward looking deck. It's not a bad looking deck. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but it also houses the security complex and 2 parts of the computer core and a bunch of areas for sensors and the deflector and stuff. So It's a pretty big deck for 33. And this is, of course, a medical wing. So we'll just fly through. Let me grab my compass and it's up. Here's the central computer complex. I'm going to leave the cotton roof as is because it is a 4 tall deck, so I don't have to half slab it if I don't want to. This is their little break room, their on-shift sleeping quarters, plus their showers and stuff. Then we have an interrogation room here, another one there. So everything you see on this side is equal to everything you see on the port side. Then we have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 cells on this side, 10 cells on the other side. It's a long-term brig, and then of course we'll have another complex down below. It'll have even more brigs and stuff, and probably even a bigger sleeping area for security contingency. You have an office, and you have like a little conference room area, and this again is mirrored on the other side, which means if it's mirrored on the other side, we could easily turn it into something else, you know, medical emergency prisoner holding or whatever. And that's another thing I'll probably do down below is I'll probably have a medical crossover, so it'll be like medical security. So when people are sick, they'll have like a medical complex that has dedicated security for it. Here's the armory. And here's the phaser range. And again, there's another one of these up on deck 4, over behind or beside, to the rear and to the side of the main hangar. And that's that. So then we have a bunch of areas in the ship here. What are these called again? Emergency storage or emergency survival lockers. That's what they're called. There's no sign. There was a sign. I think it's in the first one. Then we have, this is the computer core access room. So basically a bunch of LCARs and things. I didn't really doll it up because I think they want to use some of the new blocks and stuff that are coming for security screens. And this, all the way down, these 3 are labs. There should be a sign in here that labels them. Yeah. These are deflector and science sensor labs, all through here. Of course, up here is the computer navigational core for the ship. And this is the access area in here to service the outside of it, so just sort of a walk around, nothing major. We might add another door over here at some point, I don't know. It really doesn't matter, to be honest with you. I thought I had another door. I do, awesome. Thinking ahead, thinking ahead. Alright, and most through here is crew quarters. Standard size crew quarters. Actually a little bit larger than standard. Well, the standard crew quarters is, you have an area of 5 here, then you have an area of 10 here for living space, and that's eating space. And then you have a bedroom, a work area, extra bedroom, and a bathroom, whatever you want to call this area. So that's the logic behind it. And then down through here, I think there's a storage room, or 2 storage rooms. This is a slightly larger storage room, so this might actually get changed out to something else. I don't know yet. And then there's this nice sized lounge here. It's about a medium sized lounge, not real big. It's just, you know, sort of a kicking it lounge with bathroom. So we have that, and then of course turbolifts. And then another smaller storage area, and the rest of this through here is crew quarters, except for the last 2 rooms or compartments. One's a storage and one's for the latching system for the slide away doors for the spine storage facility. And then there's this is a quad crew quarters. So there's room, 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 and a room and open space here. Not a lot of open space, but for 4 people, but it is a contingency crew quarters. So why not? And as we work our way back up through here, I think this is just a corridor back around the front. We have batteries, which are standard. Then we have the lab-specific storage. Again, it has the raised roof, and this will be converted to being a lift. I'm not sure, but I think the lift actually goes up 1 more deck. I'm going to go ahead and punch the floor out on this, or the roof out on this, just to be on the safe side, because I can always put it back in later. It means I have to go do it on the port side as well. But I have a bathroom, head, OPN relay. Then we have this stuff here for all the core spines and stuff and whatnot. Let's go ahead and bounce in here real quick and do this. There. And we'll go over here and we'll take a look at, this is for the power relay stuff. I went and pulled that thing from the Enterprise E that myself and somebody else made up, and put it out here for reference. I don't know if it'll actually end up in this ship because the space for it is considerably different than on the E. The E, this was directly over the power system, and on the D it's not. It's only partially on it. So yeah, had I known that was something M wanted to include, I think I would have routed things differently on this deck, or on the deck below it, way below it. So, but this whole section here is dedicated to it. It really, I guess, all it has to do is come up, and then it could branch off and do its thing all the way down, but I really don't know how it's going to work out, to be honest with you. Then we have the rear cargo areas, and then the spine cargo area here. And that about covers it. At this point, I'm ready to put it back into the ship. So, yeah. I didn't see this back here. Let's go ahead and just fill this room in real quick here. It's just going to be a standard. Do I want it to be... that's a good question. Let's go ahead and then we'll grab a gray block. We'll do it with a gray door. And then this. And like so. There we go. Alright, so that's done. Alright, let's go ahead and stick it back in the ship. First things first is I gotta do the half slabs, or the highlight half of it to get my corner marker. So, well, we're here, we'll fix this real quick as well. Might as well over here. Grab the top part and we'll fly to the center here. And I think go with the bottom. There we go. And I'll have to turn, actually I'm not going to do that because that's a pain in the ass. Just throw my thing away here, so I'll have to grab another one. Just go like this. Slow. I did hit slow, come on. Cooperate. There we go. Alright, so there's the corner marker, and I'll just go ahead and clear and then do this. Fly to the other end. There she is. And make sure I get the whole thing. I actually did that once. I only mirrored or copied up one part, then I couldn't figure out where everything went. Okay, and again, we're going to stand in the center and do it. This just makes it a little bit easier. And I will copy it. I've got copy confirmation, and I'll step out of the way here, and we'll fly on up here, and I will stand here, and I will do paste. And if everything goes well, we'll lag for a second, and I'll clear the bottom. We should be good to go here as soon as the lag stops. This is usually where I sing derp-a-derp to myself because I'm pretty much twiddling my thumbs waiting for things to work. And we'll go over here and make sure the turbolift is lined up. And she is. Make sure the Jeffries tube is lined up, and she is. Come back around and we'll work our way over to the port side and see what's going on the port side. Port side is lined up, looking good. Nice long corridor here. And again, it looks really good in the ship, so I'm pretty happy with how that came out. Got this nice angular one here, reminiscent of the original D. I tried to get a couple of those angled ones in there, because why not? Now, it's been some questions. Why can't I just do a straight corridor through here? Well, there's a Jeffries tube here. And if I did a corridor, the wall would become the Jeffries tube, and I couldn't do that. So, you know, and normally this corridor wasn't going to be here. This corridor was actually added after the fact to accommodate the changes that M elected for this area. So this was actually a sealed area. So yeah, that's why this cord doesn't go straight through. Just FYI. Anyways, check out this area in here now, and let's go ahead and slow down so we don't bounce off the walls like a drunken sailor. Russian. Okay. Now this does worry me because we can see the top of it. So what I will do is I will grab this one and I will just do this whole area like this, because why not? I'll have to do it on the port side as well, but I will do that off recording as to not bore the hell out of you. Although I'm really good at that right now, so I'm just sort of saying, hey, okay, now this goes down to deck 37, or 34, excuse me, deck 34. Deck 34, this is a bathroom, FYI, back here. And then we go up to deck 32. And we're back on deck 33. Man, it's hard to believe we're only 3 decks away from the main engineering deck. Hoot hoot. Yeah. Yeah. Weird, huh? Okay. Come through here. Everything's looking pretty good. I guess I always gravitate to the starboard side, and I don't know why that is, but that's the side I always seem to gravitate to. More emergency lockers through here. Of course, some of the new blocks, the Shockler blocks that M. Heller and Shadow Appler, I'll keep saying that no matter what, Shadow Appler created. Got a little catwalk going across here, because this will be waste or water, or which one is this one? This is Replicator Systems. So I have a little thing going across here, and then I also included a little catwalk inside of here, which is all of this equipment and stuff, life support, systems above, water processing systems, connected water, all that stuff. So we have 2 stories to work with. And then, of course, the halon system is going to come out and feed into, or excuse me, the fire suppressor system is going to come out, and there'll be like a halon system here, and then it'll all like branch into the life support system and everything else, so they can pass halon throughout the ship. And let's go ahead and go above the hollow suites here into the actual hollow suite area. This will be it. Yeah, there's the door. I thought I had another door too. I may only have 1 door per room. That's no big deal. You know, you only need really 1 room, or 1 door per room as it is. So let's go check it out to make sure it's there. Yep, it is. Cool. So this one actually has 2 doors. Okay, that works. So there are definitely, got to add these systems. And again, I already have these systems. They're pretty much plug and play. And I can always put them in and mirror them over to the other side. So it's no big deal to do that. So I just didn't feel like putting them in right now. I just wanted to get the deck buttoned up. Here's a first aid station. Pretty nice size one that also has a complete deck pass through. And then we're into the survival locker area for the emergency locker area for the part of the cargo complex in the spine. It's a nice size area. Very nice size area. Actually, you better go through over here. I'm going to go cover up that magenta over there as well. Grab some black half slabs. There they are. Now it doesn't matter because this is a force field right here. So I could easily put another force field buffer right in here to kind of make it look like so it's in quadrants. And you know what, that's actually not a bad idea. Just saying, it's really not a bad idea to do that. So I'll go ahead and do that anyways. That way there it's like a redundant system. And it doesn't really matter if it's used or not because it's just a redundant system. So it also gives me a chance so I don't have to cover up the upper area. It just makes it redundant. Whoops, come back here. I'll grab that to put that down along the sides here. And cover that up. Zip on over here. Do the same thing over here. There we go. So now it you know, you have this one and then you have this one over here. You have 2 systems to back it up. And I'm debating, do I want those or do I, yeah, well, I don't know. I'll swap it out, see what it looks like. Okay, now my half slabs. Continuity. Go over here and do the same thing. I don't know if any of you play Star Trek Online, but I got introduced to it a while back from some friends, and I gotta say it's pretty fun. It's got its moments where you just want to throw your hands up in frustration, but overall it's actually a pretty fun game. Anyways, long story short, I lucked out and was able to get a bunch of the ships and vessels that I wanted to get just for purpose of playing, and it's actually one of those games that if you get into it, you can get into it pretty heavily, and you can get expensive. Unlike Minecraft. Minecraft's, past the initial expenditure of buying the game itself and then the camera accounts, seems to be doing pretty good. But STO's pretty much one of those games you can get into for a while. Then you get bored with it and you want to go do something else. The nature of the beast, But now, a question is, should I go ahead and do something like this? I think that's okay to do that. But then again, the doors here might slide away. I don't know. I really don't know. And then I can just half slab it. But I was looking at some of those ships that they have and the models and stuff they have on. They're actually very nice looking models. I have to admit, they are very attractive looking models that they use. So, ship-wise, they have pretty much all the major ships. And I enjoy flying right now. I'm flying this thing called the Whiz Kid Sovereign. It's a Sovereign class ship, but it was an award vessel that you buy a little toy and you get the card for the ship. Well, I found somebody who wanted the ship, but they don't play a Star Trek Online, so we went in halves and purchased it. It was like $15. Something cost me like $7.50, and I actually got the Sovereign class ship, so I lucked out. But I was flying that around and looking at it, and then I started looking at the Galaxy, and I was looking at the Galaxy and just couldn't believe, it's such a big ship, because we're actually on board of it right now, flying around it and stuff. But in Star Trek Online, there's this event that just ended, and it was called Into the Breach, and they had this Galaxy class fly into this ship, a la Star Wars style. You have to fly around the trench and then inside the ship and blow up its reactor. And this Galaxy class goes zipping by me, and this is one of the preloaded scenes, and just it's like a firecracker. It's gone. The whole ship just a cloud of debris. And I was thinking, you know how big a Galaxy class is? Just to see it go up like a puff of smoke, like a fart in the wind, it was gone. It just blew my mind. It was like, no way, Just to think that something this big could go up and just be nothing other than space atoms, it just boggles the mind. And then, of course, that's exactly what happens to the Death Star. A big ass Death Star turns into a big ass debris field. A bunch of teenagers, and a lucky shot. So, but it's just kind of one of those things. It's scale to economy. It's hard to imagine something this big blowing up. Then again, it was really hard to imagine the Titanic sinking. So, but it sunk. So, here it is. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Now these doors, these here are doors, and they actually open. I don't know how they function, but they do open, and then cargo is allowed to get into these areas here. So, yeah, pretty nifty, pretty nifty. I wonder if we did one of these back. Gosh darn it, did one of these back here as well. Yes, we did. So yeah, so we have the outer force field and we have the inner force field, and then down here we have the outer force field and we have an inner force field. I like that. That's actually pretty cool. So flying through here, and these are turbolifts that accommodate cargo. So if we put some of Shadow's new cargo containers on this, it'd be something like this. Thank God shockler blocks don't have that issue like everything else, but they're actually it'd be better served like darn it. Come on, cooperate with me. But basically that's how they do it. They would fly into the area, they would load into the turbolift, and they would just basically be a cargo that would go anywhere around the ship. And this is an invention that we came up with for for this ship. Now, it was talked about on other ships and things like that, but we actually implemented it on our ship and our design. So this is uniquely Minetrek. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I like these new block designs and it's neat because it's a full range of blocks. He gave us a nice range of blocks to use. So these might actually also serve as corridor blocks too at some point. It just depends on the person. If the person wants to go that far, yes. And then we have the corridor cargo lifts that go up to the multi-level sections of the ship and such. And again, I'm debating because that's actually there. Let's go ahead and route this all the way over. If I've got the space for it, I might as well do it, you know? Since this is gray block, it means it'll actually, it's just a roof blocking. And then there's those things there, which I think if you go to the hull, those are fuel portings or something. But M already allotted for them, so I don't have to worry about it. So she knows what they are, I don't. So she probably has an idea for what they're going to be used for. Probably fueling connectors. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back to our half slab if I can figure out what I did with it. Black half slabs, there they are. Come back here. There. Same thing over here. Because why not? Alright. Now that's looking good. So these things here, let's go ahead and zip outside the hull real quick. No? Ugh. My bad. These things, I don't know what they are, so let's go ahead and read what they are real quick here. Tankage EMG matter dump port roughly here. Okay, you're the one that designed the area, I am, so yeah, you're going to have to figure out how to deal with that because, again, what is that called? Tankage emergency matter dump port roughly here. Does anybody know what a matter dump port is? Well, I know it's a port that dumps matter, but what is the matter from? What tank are you referring to? Does anybody have an idea? Because I sure as hell don't. What is in here? Okay. These things right here. Let's zip out here and see what these. Okay, that's how she has it routed. She has it routed like that. That's a pretty good idea. Route it out through here. Something like that. And you can also, if you wanted to, I guess you could run it along the roof here, but okay, so the tankage she's referring to is this back here. These deuterium tanks. These are fusion reactors. Don't get me wrong, these are fusion reactors. So the tank is this thing right here. So this has to run down through here, probably have some pumping systems and relays set back here that would, you know, connect to the main tank, which is that big tank that's forward of us, and this would be the fueling and dumping for it. So cool. She's like I said, she's a person with a plan. So yeah, that works out well. And let's go back and grab this and go down one level or whatever levels we have to go down. And is it this one? No, it's this one. Oh, it was this one. Let me out. Fly along here. And this one right here. Let's do this side of it. Alright, and that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. I do appreciate you taking time to watch. Again, this is the Minetrek.net game server. If you'd hit that like button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it. Feel free to like us on Facebook. Also, if you'd like to donate to the server, there is a link in the description below. Thanks again, folks, and catch you on the next episode. Maybe, perhaps, we'll see. Bye-bye. Ooh, toys.